Yes, hello friends. Welcome to Rahul Jain Network. So, in today's video, we are going to discuss introduction to SQL. Along with the introduction, we will also discuss a little about the history of the SQL and its syllabus. Okay, so all mention and also discuss. Okay. So, because many times the query of students comes that what are the topic we have to cover inside the SQL. So why whether it is about higher competitive exams, yeah, your placement view. So which are the topic that have the highest weightage, yeah, which have the higher priority. So don't worry, we all discuss here. So means like okay, so not word, not question. So first all let's talk about SQL is what. SQL is a structure query language. Here I am first picking up the word language. So, okay, why do we use the language generally like for communication? What language am I using here? Then I am using English language so that you guys can understand my language better, which I want to explain to you, can understand that thing. So, what is actually here? You can say that they are two interfaces. There are two interfaces are two users, yeah, their users like one minute cursor, yeah, users, yeah, one side are other users and one side also for communication in between what we need like language. So and I in the same way if we talk about out system here, then what happens in the system on one side users, so, and on the other side, there are databases like if you talk here about structured data, then databases is one other side. Then how will the user interact with the databases? So how he will communicate by using the language, but which language? Structured query language. And why structure only? Because here talking about here, okay, so don't worry. So structure means who has fixed data model. Data model means whenever we store structured data, what do we use? So table, yeah, what we call relation, what we call relation. So a relation table, so we also call relation, so we also call this subject many times relational database management system, because always we store data in form of relation, yeah, table means the yes, in form of the table, yeah, means the structure that I have the place where I have to enter the data is already fixed. What is that table? It is therefore called structure. Okay, so structure query language. So whenever we have to do and query on structured data, we have to fetch to the data, we have to store data. What do we use? SQL, that is a structured language. And where did the concept of structured query language actually start from 1970? So I did also mention here from 1970 it started with SQL. Okay, so in 1970 scientist E.F. Code, whom we call father of DBM. So E.F. Code published a paper on relational model. So relational model means in which data is stored in the form of tables. Yeah, published a paper on relational model. Above that paper, they tried to implement in actual theory that we can store the data. After that, the data can also be fetched. Okay, also be fetched. Oh, so yeah, and whose whose help did he take prove this thing that used relational? Okay, so relational algebra like as well as tuple relational calculations. So I didn't mention relational algebra and tuple relational calculus in short form TRC say. So tuple relational calculation in actual he used mathematical function which is relational algebra mathematics. What do we use? We use in tuple relational as well as mathematics. So he used these two mathematical functions using formula formulas inside IT, and then he showed that we can actually store the data at some place and then fetch it later. So on the basis of that paper, later on IBM, so on the basis of later on the IBM, so IBM company started implementation in actually. So because what has EF code given, so it's a man. So give a theoretical model of how we store data, PI projection, all mathematical basis functions were there. But what IBM did later was converted to this language, that is structured query language, and initially called it simple English query language, SQL. So actual the name of the first SQL was SQL. So used to speak in this manner SQL, and its meaning is called simple English query language. So already I mentioned SQL, SEQUEL, means simple English query language in past time. So a structured query language. But if you look carefully, we use in function even inside SQL. We use in keywords. They are of English letter only because I don't know. So whether select from, where, group, heading, order, join, which is in natural where whatever word you use. Okay. So which is natural whatever word you use. Okay. So use what you use here, wait, what is it all about based on the English language. Then this was a small history of SQL, because many times in exams, yeah, placement view, they ask definitely a little bit of history. Do you know about a little history when this thing evaluation started, when this thing started in actual? After that, then it got full competition and in Oracle market, and Oracle did complete work on IT. Then Microsoft made its SQL Server. IBM, yes, Microsoft its SQL Server, and IBM launched its own DB2, different database. And if we talk about today's secret, 1 minute, today's, if we talk about today's scenario, then it is totally different. Now we do not talk about SQL. Now we talk about NoSQL, means the structured data we have at today's time is very less. Only 10% of the data on this earth. What is that structured? 90% data is unstructured, for which we have no SQL, big data, Spark, MongoDB. Also, all these concepts we use in actual. But you should know the advanced. But what is basic should we know first. So if we talk about structure here in structure query language, the first feature that comes to use first, SQL is domain specific language. So domain specific language, what is the meaning of domain specific first? So domain specific language. So there are two types of language: domain specific and journal purpose. Yes, everyone know domain specific and journal purpose. Journal purpose, which means that the applicability is in multiple places, like C++ language. It cannot be used at one place. You can use it in multiple areas. But if we talk about SQL, it is domain specific. Why is it domain specific? Because we can use only structured data, meaning only inside relational. Yes, yes, only inside relational databases, and only what we can use inside relational databases. SQL, where what, yes, inside relational database, and SQL, where we have our data in the form of tables. So I don't know. We have to fetch, and there So it is a particular domain where we use what is that domain. So relational databases, that's why we call it domain specific language. The second point here is the second point is mentioned SQL is declarative language. So SQL is declarative language. So again here also there are two categories. It is declarative and second is procedural. What is the meaning of declarative? So what do means we have to mention what to do, but how to do not mention this. But if we talk about procedural language, then like if we talk about C++, then what would we have there? What to do happens and how to do also. That means yes, how to do also in C++ language. So in what to do and how to do also mention. Yeah, some issue. 1 minute. Some issue. Yes. How to do? So there we write procedure, write function, etc., etc. So don't worry. That function is actually, let me define that. Okay, let's say I want to find factori of any number, but how to do it? If we use while loop and for loop, then where is a start logic. What to do means, let's say I have to find out the name of the students who belong to Delhi. So the students who do belong from Delhi, their details have to be removed. Then we write simple query, select star from students and where location is equal to Delhi. So also 1 minute, I'm writing here. Very simple query, select star from students where location is equal to del Delhi. Okay, so that is short form. Okay, 1 minute, my laptop is discharged, so please 1 minute. We can, yeah, you. Yes. So because my power is low, so my laptop, so and I'm doing charge. So okay, then where I was, yes. So very simple query. Select a star from students and where location is equal to Delhi. So we did only mention, but how does it work internally? So that is 1 minute. So submission. So that is databases. It works on its in. That means what to do is mentioned. So here how to do we don't mention. Only direct select stock from students where location is called daily and then after that get results. So it's a very easily what to do and how to do not mention. Okay, so that's why we call it declarative language. But after that I have an advance of SQL, which is add-on feature is PL/SQL procedural language. It is actually procedural based, but what is normal SQL purely, yeah, declarative language. In this use the commands which are generally simple like DDL command, DML commands, DCL commands, and TCL commands. These are different commands to create data, insert data, to fetch data, to control data in order to give privileges. Which commands are there on all of them, and I will post a bid. Yes, a post and in all commands. I will post a video on this very soon. Okay, so don't worry, and very soon I will post video. So after that, you will know that. That DIL is DDL, DML, DCL, which commands actually exist inside, and this will give you an initially idea. Okay, so of how we work within the SQL. So here we are using keys and constraints. So like primary key, foreign key, and candidate key. So different types of key which are used here and constraints. So primary key, foreign key, not null, default, check, and I think. Five types of key: primary key, foreign key, not null, default, check. So different types of constraint for databases used to give help to create and apply rules. Then operators like between, in, not in, conditional. Yes, in, not in, conditional. I have mentioned few points here. So I have mentioned few points here so that you will get any overview. Okay. So just what is there in syllabus actually. So in operator we like, in we operator like in between, not in, it is used a lot. Apart from this we also use exist, no exist. So in correlated subquery. Yes. So all these are operators which we use internally to do query. That means we store the data done. Okay. So now after that we have to fetch that data, like if I tell simple example which all of you people use IRCTC. I think everyone nowadays uses IRCTC. So what IRCTC has done, they have made a strong databases of their own. In the databases they have very created complete databases of trends. So like and what do we do? What we do query? How do we do query? So we don't write query in SQL. So we have APIs available. So we use direct application programs to interface, and we do query like that particular day. I have to search any trend. I have to search any set inside that trend. What is internally in actual, it is actually a query only which we perform on structured data, and IRCT is what it is based on structure and structured data actually. When we open it, then if we you have seen, then if you have seen, it is so in the form of tables. So all data is available here. So in booking sheets, different types of like uh, RAC, third AC, third AC, and first, second. So the table were divided in columns. So everyone, you have seen, then it is in the form of tables. So if you check from this data to this data, that which trends are available, which values are available, then it always shows information of trend. It is shown so in the form of table. So they can take an example of structured data here. Then we have this in clauses we have distinct is order by group by clauses distinct order by group by, and having this also majorly we use this is inside query. Then aggregate function, mean, max, average. We have average count. This is the different aggregate function we use. Now joins and subqueries. So firstly joins and subqueries man highlighted. Yes, sir. I think, yeah, last two, second point, joints and subqueries. So it's a very important, very important. So some is subordinates. Yes, joints and subquery. they get stuck in sub query, yeah, nested query. So say sub query also say nested query because they clear the basic idea, but where they have not extract combined data of joints. Suppose means one, two tables, three tables, four tables. They get stuck because here at need practice, more practice, media. So how do you have to create as many tables as possible and fetch the data inside them? Then this point is most important from this placement point of view. I would say it is the most important that is joints and subquery. But if we talk yes, most important, very important joints and subquery. Yeah, because every exams and every placement view interview in of course ask question in joints and subquery. Yes, but if we talk about from the point of view competitive exams, then it is also the most important, obviously. But the rest also keep their weightage. But from the point of view of placement, this is the most important thing. This join and sub query, yeah, nested query, then PLSQL. So my joints and the nested query is end because everyone knows most important and focused on joints and sub query. And I'm saying so more practice and more getting knowledge after. Okay, so joints and nested query is more important. Then let's go side of PLSQL last point of view. I think last PLSQL trigger function concept procedure. Okay, so PLSQL. What is PLSQL? PLSQL is a procedural language. Okay, क्या है procedural language means that the SQL is declarative in which we have also added the procedural. Yes, also add procedural part in which we create triggers, create function, create cursors. We can also create procedure, which we do in C language. Yeah, we create function. In what function can we create inside SQL? But named it PLSQL. Yes, but also matching SQL. So it is actually procedural. It tells what to do and how to do it. But because PLSQL language, so matching what in also C language in how to do what to do. But pure SQL tells what to do. You don't need to mention how to do it. Okay, because in internal libraries, yeah, if you are using Oracle, yeah, SQL server, they are libraries are already defined that what is the function select, what is the role of commands in actual. So that is all about basis of SQL. It's a basic format. So uh, means I say I will provide more deeply knowledge in SQL. And my YouTube channel, of course, I trust to my audience and my friends. After watching video, just feel good regarding skill. Of course, get me skills, good skills. So don't worry, don't think other. I can say honestly. So I will take video on my YouTube channel very best types of. Firstly, I today is my first video on SQL intro. So and in coming video my like commands DDL, DML, DCL. So don't worry. And now okay, bye bye, take care, and I will meet on next video. Okay, done. Take care, friends.